it's Amanda here today with Homeschool Life, and today is going to be a little bit more of a candid video. We're actually doing school right now. You can see the kids kind of everywhere. I've told them to just please be quiet and let me get this video done to share with you all. But today I wanted to share some of the things that I love about homeschooling. I thought that maybe some of you guys in our community here could use some encouragement or just some, we're in this together kind of thing. And so as I was sitting here thinking, I was like, well, I'm just going to share what I love about homeschooling right now. So I know everybody has different reasons for why they homeschool, and everybody's homeschool looks a little bit different. But I've been doing it for, I don't know, count it up. Lauren and I counted it up. My oldest is in the 9th grade. We started in preschool, and so we've been doing it for a very long time, and each year it seems like I like something new about it. So something that I'm loving right now about homeschooling is our family sibling relationships. One of my hopes and desires for my family, and my kids all know this, is that I want them to be friends when they leave my home. Some of our favorite people to hang out with are our family, the siblings getting to get together and play games and share holidays together. And so I want my kids to have great sibling relationships. Now, of course they squabble and they fight, just like, I'm not saying that should be the norm, but just any kind of friction within a family. But overall, as I've been walking through the house and we're on a break or a free time and I see siblings of different ages, playing a game together or reading a book together or doing a project together, it just brings me joy, and it just makes me really happy because that's one of my goals. So I guess the sibling camaraderie. My oldest is doing a really good job of bringing in my youngers and doing stuff with them. And serving and helping, and just people are taking turns making each other breakfasts and making each other smoothies, and having something ready for a kid when they get back from practice. And so something I'm loving right now is just the sibling and the family relationships. Another thing that I'm loving right now in our homeschool world is, I always love this, is our shared books and our shared movies and our shared YouTube clips that we pull up, because it just creates such a atmosphere of having inside jokes and reference points for us all to be able to talk about. If we're in town, or it's something happened a couple weeks later and we go back to, hey, remember that chapter in that book, or remember that funny YouTube video we watched about, whatever in our history, and just those shared things. They're just coming to light a lot right now, and so it's just very fun, and I'm enjoying it. So another thing that I'm loving in our homeschool right now is just our Bible time, in the character time and things like that. It looks the most different for my family this year than it ever has. And mainly that's because everybody's playing the public school sports and they all have a different practice time. And so instead of having that morning, family devotional time that I really like, or I shouldn't say really like, that it's been the norm in the past, we've had to move that to a lunchtime area. And so while it was an adjustment at first because it was different and shorter, I have decided just how grateful I am for it. And so that it's just another thing that I'm loving about our homeschool right now is just every day, that 15-20 minutes that we are able to come together, and I'm able to share scripture, I'm able to share a missionary story, we might go over a hymn, we might learn some Bible history, lots of character talk, just character training, or bringing things up during that time. And I'm just grateful that we have that time, because I just think, I know every family is different, but with our schedules, I just feel like if we weren't homeschooling and I didn't have that 15 to 20 minutes every day around lunch, I don't think that it would happen in my family, because almost every night we're in that season where everybody's a different place. And even in the mornings, we're not together anymore because somebody has a practice here or there. And well, I even mess that up because I usually run most mornings. And so by the time I get back from running, one of my kids is already out of practice. So I'm just grateful for that Bible discipleship time that I get to share with my kids. One other thing that I'm loving right now is just the flexibility and being able to tailor the education. My kids are getting, some of them, obviously everybody's getting older, and so I feel like I'm finally reaching that point where I'm able to figure out their interests and figure out their strengths, and not saying they shouldn't know everything and how to do everything, but really start to tailor to their interests and start tailoring things, like going a little bit deeper in something that they might be good at or could be a possible career choice someday. And then of course, the flexibility. I don't know how many of you guys live in the country, but we do. And Pawpaw goes to the sale barn, and my boys love going to the sale barn. And so they went here a couple weeks ago, and I was able to say, okay, you can't go unless you get your homework done. And so they worked on Sunday night and they worked on Monday morning to get their stuff done so they could spend a day with their grandparent. And so they didn't miss any school. They didn't get behind in any education, like book education, but they also got some real life education. So just that flexibility to be able to do things like that. So just overall, just feeling grateful for a lot of the blessings of homeschool. And the last thing that I am loving about homeschooling right now is how much it is stretching me. That sounds kind of like an ooh, how could that be good? But this season, I would say we had a rough start because it was just so hard with the different ages and harder classes and a more demanding schedule of things outside of the home and like everybody coming here and there. So it took a minute to get settled and figure out what would work. And so I think Lauren and I were visiting last week during our co-op. I think it took me about five and a half weeks for everybody to settle into a rhythm. And so just the being able to change our schedule, figure out what works, and be stretched, I just always think is a good thing for your character. And even now planning what we're going to do in our school, in the next few weeks is even stretching me. And I'm just grateful for that challenge to be able to, need to be creative to come up with what's going to work. And it also makes you as a parent, or me right now, spend time like really considering each one of my children and what is best for them and what would work for them because they're all different. And it just makes me, I just love it. I love having to think about each one as an individual like that and work on what's good for them. So I don't know if you needed any encouragement today, but if you're struggling this week in your homeschooling or just needing to look for some positives in it, I would definitely say those are my positives. And one that I just thought of, which is kind of silly, is the food. Like the food and the snacks. Sometimes that wears me out, honestly, but overall, it's fun to share so many meals and snacks together around just what we're learning. I was actually sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent. We do school around our table, and I have a schoolroom, but we do not use it. It's in the other end of the house. It's not by the kitchen. It basically is where we just keep our stuff. But everybody always ends up around the table. And if you look at my table, when I very first got it, I was put a book under it so you don't ruin the table, because it's custom made with some wood. And you know how that goes. We quit doing that. And so if you move all the papers, you can see little marks of their handwriting and their work. And that's silly, but I just really like it. And because we do so much around the table, we do our school around the table, we eat around the table, we play games around the table. And so something else that I'm loving is just our table. I just want my kids to be able to come back home when they're gone, or even not as adults, even now when they're gone for a little while, to be able to come home and just enjoy being at our table. So going back to stretching me, I am also sitting at our table helping them, and so it stretches me as a parent to, try to stay calm and patient and joyful, and really trying to set a positive atmosphere so things are enjoyable. So anyways, this was kind of an honest mom chat, I guess you might say, on what is enjoyable of our homeschool right now. So I would love for you to leave a comment and let me know what you're loving about your homeschool right now. Like, it may not be, I don't know, just let me know. Just share, like, what's going well, what are you loving? Maybe it's a curriculum change, maybe it's a schedule change. And also, don't forget, Lauren and I are on Instagram, Homeschooling Life. I will link it in here. We'd love for you to follow us. And thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and subscribe to our channel. Sorry, I always forget that. We are we're very raw here on our YouTube channel, trying to be very real, transparent, and honest about how things are going. So anyways, thanks for watching.